Right now on 12 News, water woes from busted pipes to boil orders. An update on what you and your family need to know as we brace for another hard freeze. Plus, reopening roads, which major bridges are open to traffic, but it may not be for long. We'll explain why. And Cancun controversy. Senator Ted Cruz busted for a trip to Mexico as his constituents sit in the dark without water. What he's saying about the blunder now. From busted pipes to boiling water, the water woes continue for Southeast Texans. We've had more cities added to that boil water order as officials brace for another hard freeze tonight. Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist is tracking the temperatures, and Patrick, another night we'll be bundling up and watching the pipes.
Without a doubt, Dejanique, hard freeze expected across Southeast Texas. Warnings are already out, and this was my front yard. I'm melting. As we were able to get into the lower 40s here in Beaumont. We'll be saying goodbye to that. That's left on the ground, I think. As you can see, a little hole developing over the triangle, allowing us to hit the lower and middle 40s, but it's still right around freezing in the lakes, and we've had several reports of light flurries up towards the lakes area. Amounts are going to be very light, so no real accumulations. Otherwise, there's that hard freeze warning in effect. Take care of all the 4 Ps across Southeast Texas. Could see lower 20s in the lakes, mid 20s in through Kirbyville, back over towards Lumberton, Kuntz, and into the mid to upper 20s here in the triangle. Our forecast this evening calls for those 40s to go bye-bye, and we'll see the mid 30s here in the triangle by 9 p.m. More on a warmer, drier forecast coming up on 12 News.
Boil water orders are in place for nearly all of Southeast Texas. Hampshire, Fannett, and Deweyville are the latest to make those advisories this morning. There are now so many that we can't list them all, but you can get an updated list by texting the word water to 409-838-1212, and we will send that information straight to your phone. Now, here are some tips if you do have to boil your water. You want to heat the water until bubbles come up from the bottom of the pot. Once it reaches a rolling boil, let it boil for another 2 minutes. Once the water cools down, it's good to drink and use to cook with. And here are some do's and don'ts. Do not use your ice from the ice makers. That's from the tap. You can bathe and take a shower, just don't swallow the water. Don't brush your teeth with that tap water and use bottled water instead. Use your washer because that's okay. And dishwashers are okay too. Just make sure you turn on the high temperature or heat dry feature. Bursting pipes only expected to get worse as our temperatures continue to go up and down. Ice has more volume than water, so when water freezes inside of a pipe, it expands and increases pressure. That pressure needs to go somewhere, so it literally bursts right out of the pipe. And if it happens to you, getting help right now isn't easy. Here's William Joy.
They woke me up this morning saying that we were flooded. This is a lot.
Marie Wilbanks feels forgotten.
And I was just sitting in there just a minute ago. I'm thinking, how can I get the rest of it out?
She's been without power for more than 24 hours, and this morning a burst pipe flooded her apartment where she's been taking care of her granddaughter and great-granddaughter.
I try so hard to give her and her baby a good place to live. And now all of this.
Across Texas, pipes have frozen, burst, and flooded homes. All are asking the same question.
Why me?
Well, right now it's nonstop phone calls.
David Butler is the master plumber at Milestone.
You know, I think we'd have been all right if we wouldn't have the power outages as bad.
They're making 150 calls a day and are already booked through Tuesday. His best advice to those with frozen pipes is to turn off water now. If you can, keep trickling faucets.
As it gets up freezing and above freezing, it's just going to be exponentially worse.
Texans are hurting.
I've tried to get in touch with Encore. I've tried to get in touch with my electric company. Nobody won't answer.
As the cold ends, many will need help facing a new fight.
And I'm like, one more battle, but I can make it because I've been through so many.
In Fort Worth, I'm William Joy.
Well, Senator Ted Cruz is embroiled in a controversy. He confirmed late today that he did, in fact, fly to Mexico as the state remains in crisis after crippling winter storms. This all started with a tweet showing the Texas senator on a plane. It's been shared tens of thousands of times, making national headlines. Cruz told our sister station in Dallas, quote, "With school canceled for the week, our girls asked to take a trip with friends. Wanting to be a good dad, I flew down with them last night and am flying back this afternoon." Now, adding to the blunder, Cruz had police assistance getting to and through the airport. It's also worth noting the senator said earlier in the week he was without power and water and promised to use all resources to keep Texans informed. Roads across the area are slowly but surely improving, and that includes bridges too. Finally, some good news as the Rainbow Bridge reopened in Port Arthur. Kara Willis was there and has an update.
A welcome sight for drivers. The Rainbow Bridge is now reopened to traffic. It was one of the first major bridges in our area to close during the winter storms. But drivers need to be aware that other bridges still remain closed in our area. Earlier, many drivers were seen disappointed that the Veterans Memorial Bridge was still closed, but it just reopened. We were there as TxDOT crews were scooping snow off the icy roads to make travel safe for drivers. Even though this is good news for these bridges, the Maury Myers Lindbergh Overpass and Dowland Road Overpass are still closed to traffic. There are many travelers on the road and they're driving full speed. To get the latest on road closures and reopenings, check drivetexas.org. In Port Arthur, Kara Willis, 12 News.
Well, Entergy says that most customers should have power back by the end of today. As we take a live look at the outage map, about 130 customers are still in the dark right now, the bulk coming from Liberty County. No heat, no power, no water, and now another shortage seems to be adding to the misery in parts of Texas. Gas shortages have hit the state as people search for fuel for their vehicles and generators. For some, that gas is a matter of survival in this cold. An estimated 3 million barrels per day of oil production remains offline. Market analysts warn that as oil wells and refineries sit frozen, there could be significant shortfalls for several days. An update now, the Workforce Solutions Southeast Texas Virtual Job Fair is still happening tomorrow. You'll be connected with organizations that are hiring. We have a link to sign up right now on 12newsnow.com. Everyday heroes, Texas first responders pulling doubles, even triples. Up next, the many ways they're answering the call.